City Council members. At this time, the Moscow Tree Commission would like to make their annual report. And here representing the Tree Commission tonight is our august chairman, Mr. David Rock.
August. Good evening. I'm David Rock, and I live at 630 East C Street in Moscow, and I'm the chair of the Moscow Tree Commission. And let me get started on the PowerPoint here.
While you're doing that and getting it ready, I got to mention something about you, Dave Webb. One of the things at Arbor Day that we had, this fellow was dressed up like a bush in front of a bunch of kindergartners, first graders, second graders, and third graders at West Park School, and it was a fun day. Tom, you were out there, as was Nils. I see him in the crowd as well. And that was a good day, and it was a fun thing. We planted a tree, so I'll let you take off from there.
Wasn't that fun? And for the record, I was dressed as a Western red cedar.
Okay. Yep. I had that. The difference between that and the fir. So thank you for straightening.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, that was a good time. All right, so move forward here. Like to start off with first the mission statement and remind everyone about that. And as you can see, it's our mission is to plan, establish, help conduct a comprehensive community forestry program for the city, and we do that by ensuring safe, healthy trees. And the community forestry program will enhance the quality of life for all that live, work, and visit the city. So, and I'd like to just touch on the community forest. A lot of us like to look at it as a green infrastructure. So a lot of people may not make that connection, but I found this definition of infrastructure: the physical components of interrelated systems providing commodities and services essential to enable, sustain, or enhance societal living conditions. So interrelated systems, trees in the right-of-way, in the parks, they are interrelated with the transportation system, a fabric, as you can see from above, throughout the community, both on private and public lands. And they provide services. And real quickly, we won't go through all those, but those are just a few of the services broken down into categories of communal, social, environmental, economic benefits. So they provide services and they enhance the living conditions of the city. So truly is an infrastructure system, and we like to call it the green infrastructure. So one way to look at our urban forest, which you can view from the sky as very distinct. The commission, three purposes. We like to educate the community, citizens, staff, anyone, about the benefits and values of trees, how to plant, how to maintain those resources. Nurturing, we like to come up with ideas, some that are original, and promote those, bring them forward, relating to the enhancement of the forest. And we also advise when council or staff have some questions or need some input, feedback. We're always ready to provide that input. Our team members are wonderful folks, very dedicated, excellent folks. Margaret, Mary Jo, Niels, Ian, Don, and now most recently Patrick, who you approved. And he was at our commission meeting this afternoon, and he was very excited to learn about the commission a little bit more, and he'll be very happy to hear the news tonight. And so that vacancy, which should say now Patrick. And of course our council liaison, Dan, thank you again, great resource. And Tom, can't say enough about his help with guiding us and giving us some direction. Tree City USA is a credential that is given by the Arbor Day Foundation, a national organization. And there's 4 criteria to meet this credential every year, and we have done it so for 21 years. This was last year, I believe. We met the 20-year in a row, consecutive time. But $2 per capita goes per citizen, or $2 per capita goes towards tree care in the city, and that includes parks, right-of-ways, and such. We celebrate a city ceremony, Arbor Day. We have a tree ordinance, and we have a tree commission. Those four are the criteria that enable us to maintain this credential. We're very proud of that. And Mayor Lambert mentioned the fun time we had at Arbor Day. Principal Marino was so gracious in allowing us to borrow his second, third graders for this event. We planted a tree in Gormley Park next door, and it was a fun time. It didn't rain or sleet or snow for once. That was good. And the kids were great. I had some concerns about trying to keep about 80, 90, 100, whatever there were, of these second, third graders focused for about 20 minutes, but they were wonderful. And so after the ceremony and such, a few weeks to a month later, the principal continued that tree planting exercise. And in the front of his school, he was so involved and he's got great foresight. He had planted 6 trees, shade trees, to replace those 2 pines that are going to decline, are in the state of decline, and it will be removed somewhat in the near future. But he's a very thoughtful, thinking ahead type of person. We appreciate his help with the Arbor Day. And thanks for everyone who came out and enjoyed that day with us. As always, we're trying to promote the education facet of our commission. And 4 times this summer, 1 more time to go in a couple weeks, we'll put up our booth, trying to disseminate all kinds of good information. And we had themes this year of planting the right tree in the right place, trying to deal with drought stress and warming climate and how trees will react to that, and how to select proper trees for that type of environment. And then coming up, we also will have some more information about selection of those species to help in that endeavor. But well received. We get a lot of folks gathering around our booth, grabbing literature and asking all kinds of questions. So excellent pursuit. New program designed, implemented this year. Niels Peterson was the creator of this and made it happen. Adopt a Tree. We have volunteers, individuals or organizations, families. They can select a tree in the public right-of-way that is not adjacent to private property. Usually it's just perhaps in parks or along other streets. That small trees planted, they need some help in getting started. That's the crucial time in those first 2 or 3 years. These volunteers are trained, easy session or 2, show them how to water, mulch, light pruning, and taking care of these, and they adopt them. And it's like same principle as adopt the highway, that type of thing. And so far we have 8 volunteers, 8 citizens that are on the books and taking care of some of our city street trees. It's great. It helps relieve a bit of time commitment for Tom Grundon's crew. It also brings the community into the involvement of helping with the urban forest. Great program, and I can just see this continuing to grow and grow. We also revised our goals and objectives. Had been a few years since we had done that. We changed the categories to mirror those presented by the Arbor Day Foundation. Our old categories somewhat fell into these general categories, but they were a little wordy, and these are just straightforward. And we have, with each category, we may have up to 10, 15 objectives listed that we're now trying to divvy up and see which ones we're most interested in pursuing. And two of those would be fruit tree pruning workshop. That's coming up. We hope to have something scheduled for this February, and we'll have an expert from WSU come over who runs the Tukey Orchards, and she'll help provide a workshop for anyone who'd like to know about fruit tree pruning. So if you have questions, keep an eye out for that. And then also tree planting requirements for new subdivisions. That's in progress as well, that little project, working with Bill Belknap's department. With new subdivisions, we basically have about a little under 50% of the tree planting spaces available unplanted. After 5 years, 10 years, 1, 2 years, whatever, however old that subdivision is. So underutilization of the current program. Monies are available to the property owner, they're just not following through, and there's no reason if they don't want to do so. So we're trying to rewrite the code a bit to try to get some of these trees planted in these spaces with those available monies. So work in progress for that. You'll see more of that coming up. And then finally, just wanted to thank the mayor and the council for all your support in the past and the future, we hope, and much dedicated city staff that follows behind and helps with a lot of our efforts. Can't do this without you all, so appreciate that. And that's it.
Dave, you're a very modest guy. I got to share with you on that Arbor Day that we had out at West Park School. The kids, there was like 70 to 80 third graders out there, and when Dave was doing his presentation, those kids were paying attention to what he was saying. And when you can get that many kids at that age that are watching, and Dave made it interesting and fun for them, you've really accomplished something. And so you did a terrific job on that. I just wanted to point that out. And the fruit tree pruning that's going to happen this winter, I got to share with you. When I was in high school, where I grew up in Eastern Oregon, my brother and I did that during the winter months to earn money. We pruned trees in apple orchards and prune orchards. We did that for 3 or 4 years. So it was one of those jobs that kids were able to do back then. So.
Excellent. We might call Deb in WSU and say, never mind, we have someone here.
Well, it's
that
been
might
a
figure
while, and
it
when
out.
I start trimming, Dave, I start whacking away, so I think I get the right stuff, but I might get the wrong stuff, too. So.
And thanks for the Arbor Day comment. It was a team effort.
It was a
You
fun day.
you saw everyone there that put all that together. And I thought about coming tonight dressed as my Western Red Cedar, but I thought that might be over the
It
top.
surprised me that he had the attention of all those kids. I mean, when was the last time they saw a talking bush?
That's right. That's right.
Well, I look forward to
Yeah, I thought I needed
2015
some-
Arbor Day.
I needed something, and I thought this might help out.
Couple of,
Right.
Tom?
Art.
I'm sorry, Walter, I mean, Walter. I'm looking right at Walter, and I said Tom, Walter, so and then I'll go to Tom.
Question on your comment about the new subdivision tree planting.
Yes.
And you may or may not know, this may be a staff question. When are the homeowners advised of the fact that we have money available for planting those trees? And is there any organized, planned follow-up or reminder system currently in place?
I think Tom could answer that. Yeah, I could take a stab, but let's hear. Tom?
Currently, when homes are completed and certificate of occupancies are issued, typically the homeowner receives a packet from the city, which oftentimes is done each summer, covering previous homeowners moving in from the past 6 to 8 months. The summer intern will do that, Walter. On other occasions, I do that frequently, and other people reach out to us because they're aware of the program, that type of thing.
So that packet is just regarding the tree program?
That's correct, and it's a door hanger packet with 2 or 3, 4 different items in there.
Okay, and is there a follow-up to that once you've done it? And if you happen to notice that the house at 709 Cherry Street hadn't done anything in 6 months, does somebody go back and do it again, or?
We try to, but it's a struggle staffing-wise, time-wise.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Art?
Welcome.
For you, David,
Yes.
you sort of alluded to it a little bit relative to the elementary school, but as our street trees age out and the urban forest that was planted 100 years ago starts approaching the end of its life, is the commission given any consideration to interplanting or replacing those trees, maybe with a little bit of lead time so we don't look like a clear cut at some point?
Right, real good question. A lot of the trees in certain neighborhoods are, if you're a forester, you'd understand they're even age stand of trees, if you want to use that terminology. But, right, they're about the same age, and they'll all to kind of decline. So one of our objectives in a goal is to continue the Adopt a Tree program, extend it into Plant a Tree. So the idea is to get neighborhoods, identify a certain neighborhood, define it as maybe a 3 or 4 block area, find an individual or two within that area that advocate of tree planting, get them involved with talking to the neighbors, finding those vacant spaces, providing some funds that can help with purchasing cost share of these trees, plant them, have the neighbors maintain and adopt their own tree. So it's an extension of that. We are thinking about that, and it's just a little bit more development on that program to pursue it, but it's something we should consider soon. Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and you're on that commission, you're the liaison.
Well, yeah, like I say, that as David said, he's pretty much hit all the high points, and it's nice that they talk about talking about climate change is a little bit, it can be controversial, but they're moving forward with, even if what somebody thinks about it, trees are still a good thing to have as far as, they're going to help you conserve electricity in the summer and winter, as far as shading your house or protecting it from the wind. There's just common sense things as far as how trees can help people, and it's good that these guys are forward thinking like they are, and moving this forward to help people out as far as educate them and use of trees.
John, you had a point?
My only comment is I really like the idea of teaching and showing people how to prune their fruit trees. We've got a lot of them here in town that are in serious need of it, and if I'm not mistaken, if they're pruned properly, you get bigger, better, more healthy fruit. And I've been trying to think, there's a pear tree that I've noticed lately that really needs some help. And naturally, I can't think of where it is right now, but I think that's a great way to approach the situation, is you can turn something that is not really very productive into something that's quite productive with some snipping.
And the workshop will focus both on training young fruit trees, because that's where it really starts, and you can do a lot in the beginning, as well as trying to reestablish a nice branching pattern on these old, gnarly, forgotten fruit trees as well. So, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Well, thank you, Dave.
All right,
And Tom,
yeah.
for your reports. Very good.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you so much.